paper. I'm Brianna and welcome to Mad About Mini Paper Pads, where we grab out our mini paper pads, which could be any size, smaller than a 12 by 12, and we use them in a layout. And then I'm also still playing along with Christy's Beautiful Life in her 30 Days of Sketches. Today's, it is sketch number 21, and the sketch is by Dana Terry, and these are all exclusive sketches that we've been using. Dana made this lovely 3-picture sketch. Of course, you can modify it however you like. So I grabbed out, so I have just random, here's a Paper Studio one, but I gotta tell you, I mostly, well, here's one from, I think I got this from, Meijer grocery store or Meijer store. But most of these are like from a yard sale. This one might have been, I know this one might have been from Walmart. This one I think I got, you got a tour now. This was at like a retreat that I got this from. It's Christmas. And then, oh, I did get one. I do believe this is from Joann's. But I have a bunch that they're just a pile of papers that I would have gotten at like a yard sale. So I went in and I grabbed some out, and I picked out a couple different, I picked out this, but I really like, watch this. I'm gonna do this. They're gonna get trimmed down a little bit, but these, it hides the seam and won't make it too noticeable. And then I did the same thing with this, but I had to turn it a certain way to make the seam in the middle look not so obvious. This, oh, no, I liked this better. And honestly, if I wanted to really like make sure I hid the seam, this would work better. But I think I'm gonna save these for, oh, you can see the tags here, the fishtail banners here, and then the circles. Oops, and I'm scooting off camera there. So that is what I'm thinking. We do get to use a 12 by 12 sheet for the background. Yeah, and I might pull out some embellishments, so let's get scrapping. The only reason this video takes so long is I end up pulling out some rub-ons that are difficult to use, so just so that you know. I did cut out most of the rub-on part. So here, and I'm just going to push this up in a minute, but I'm lining up my photos. I measured them, of course, because you know I like to get out my ruler and be precise. This is my Fisker's ruler that I love because it's longer than 12 by 12. And I can't believe, like, I measure them across and they should be 9 inches just the photos, but I think when I trim them a little bit shorter. So I think I do go with a 10-inch long, and it works because then I just put some space in between each one of them. And then I will trim down the bottom, but the back one is going to be the same 10 inches. It just gets offset a little bit. And I really like that gray patterned paper. Like, it just wouldn't be the same with a cardstock. It just, I don't know what it is. And I like neutrals, I think, too, as well as doing my whole monochromatic thing. I like neutrals, as well as pops of color. How does that even go? I don't know. I like a little bit of everything. I'm very diverse. Eclectic. I'm very eclectic. So then I trimmed down all those pieces to, I think they're 4 1/4. And get them lined up. And they're going to scoot over a little bit to the right. And then I'm going to pinch my tags. So I've got the green color. I've got this. It's the same color as the background. And I'm going to soon realize it's not going to work with the tag below there because, I don't know, it gets lost because it's the same color. But I do use it for the fishtail banner on top. So I just take some little pieces and I throw them there on top. And this is where I find a 49 in Market. It's the back of the cover sheet, and it's in a, I don't know the name of the color. I should go look. It's not jade, but it's not like a blue color either. Anyway, I love the way this looks much more than the solid cardstock again. And I'm very much a cardstock person, but it's starting to be a little, I don't want to say boring, but plain for me. So I'm very excited to use more patterned papers. I took 6x6 sheets because we're only supposed to use that one 12x12, and I did, and that's why I'm showing this here and showing you my messy mat that I've even done some inking on. And I'm removing those, the circles that I did with the Cricut. And they're just a subtle, you know, I did not use a dark or bright paper. They're just a kind of a subtle decoration here on the photos, and a nice addition without being in your face. The big one does have a flaw in it when it cut out, but you know, you're going to tuck it anyway, so it hides in there very nice. And here, so then to get, you know, and I place my kind of everything down, but I go into my color box, and then I decide just to try out brown, and in a minute I'll go off camera and bring those back in. But for right now, I'm just kind of layering up, and this is probably where I figure out, oh yes, the blue, that dark blue is just, it's going to fade in there, especially because it's the short one. It needs to be in the front. So I did cut, took the same punch, and I cut, and I didn't make any tag holes on these, so I didn't have to cover them up. But I'm using that other blue and white paper. I'm sorry, I'm off camera again. I'm going to slide this up in a second too. But I decided the dark blue could stay on top because it's not connected to the dark blue down the bottom. And then I'm going to make these into fishtail banners. This is the way I usually do it. Just get out my scissors, clip in the middle, go from each side, and then just copy on the others. I like to be consistent when it comes to my fishtail banners, unless they show something different on the sketch, and then I'm willing to try something different. How about that? I really like this sketch. I can see using it in so many different ways, like using it again and no one even noticing that you use the same sketch because you just throw different elements on it. But I like the fishtail banners. I like the tags. I like the circles. I will use my rub-ons instead of the stars. So here's where I went into my brown color box, and see all those things in the little tray up there? I use absolutely none of those. I thought I was going to use, there's a speech bubble up there. I have two different ones I thought I would use for the title, but I totally go a different route, and I totally love it. But here I am just gluing everything down. I've got my Barely Art glue that I use for the circles, and then my ATG for the bigger pieces, the tags and the banners. And I'm loving that background piece. It's just perfect for this, for the kind of the background, or for the 6x6 papers that I used. And here's my glue, and I think I dropped some glue. I have misplaced my pin for the glue, and so I just used a regular needle, which doesn't quite work as well. So then I'm using a lot of pressure on the glue. It's a totally a user error thing. If I would just do like I'm supposed to, it'd be fine. And I'll put a lot of pressure to get the glue to come out, and then I'll get a big blob. But that's because I need to get a different needle to hold that in place. And again, I'm just using my ATG adhesive to get the backing, the mats down. Oh, I just love these colors. I think because it's so, it's almost like, well, it's pretty much monochromatic except for the pops of green. Well, and there's a little bit of brown too, so. But brown is a neutral, and green I guess could be a neutral too. So I wouldn't call this monochromatic. It's very pleasing to my eye, so that's why I mentioned that. So I do go ahead and glue down the tags, and then realize, you didn't get your circle down. So up it all comes. This just takes me a moment because I'm trying to get it under there good, and I should have done that first. The rub-ons I use, most of them are close to my heart, which work absolutely well, and they're super old. They're like, I don't know, 15, 20 years old. The other one is Deja Vu, and that one's going to be the title, and those are the ones that gave me a difficult time, and you'll see that in a moment. I do switch my photos around here. I really liked having the one drink. So the drink, did I even tell you about this? We were on Mackinac Island. These are the one on the left is a drink everyone should have when you get there. It's like a rum punch. It's like famous. It's from the Pink Pony. It's great. Winchester's was I think it's a bourbon and whiskey bar, or maybe just whiskey bar. And so my husband had tried this whiskey before, and he's been looking for it ever since, and so he had to get a glass of it. And so that's what's on the right. And then the sign of Winchester's, the whiskey bar, just ended up in the middle. So here are those deja vu that are not easily used. In fact, I should go back and just get rid of the rest of these. You tell me what you think. I hate throwing anything away. But I do use this, and it's hard to use, and it does come out a little not perfect. However, with all the other distressing going on the rest of the page, I think it looks just fine. I mean, you can read it. It just looks a little distressed, so it turned out good on this page. And then, so here I am. I did not cut this part off. I did use a lot of time just getting this piece down. I will skip through putting the rest of them down, but like I said, the rest of them are close to my heart, and they go down beautifully. There's some leaves, there's some flowers, so I just spread those in the other clusters, as well as making the title a cluster too. But you can see when this gets peeled off. Oh, and there's going to be another deja vu piece that goes to the top cluster that, again, just looks distressed. I'm totally fine the way it is, but it took a lot of work just to get the pieces down, and then it wasn't even really super complete. So this is a public service announcement to use your rub-ons. I know 49 Market came out with some, and those work like a charm too. So those are absolutely wonderful. But again, don't wait to use them. Use them now. If there's anything in your stash that doesn't keep well, washi tape probably is one of them. I mean, and we're talking years here. The other one is definitely rub-ons. So, oh, excuse my head that has my workout head cover on. So I was trying to be efficient and get this done. Yeah, make sure you look below to see everybody that's playing along with Christy's Beautiful Life in her 30 Days of Sketches, as well as the mini paper pads. I'll have both those lists below. The playlist is definitely for the 30 days, and I think there's going to be a list of who's playing along with 30 days of, with mini paper pads. And in a moment, I will show you the completed layout, because I'm getting about done here. Ta-da! See, I don't know how much you can tell, but look in the still shots and you should be able to see. Looks a little worn. So have a fabulous day. I'll see you again soon.